Okay, another really great lower body exercise is the deadlift. Again, this is one of our basic compound movements, super important, and is going to help you build your back, your hamstrings, and that booty. So if you remember from my other video where I was doing the bent over row, this is kind of similar, except for we're going to take the barbell from a position on the floor to a position that's lifted. This one is not very heavy. Again, this is maybe, I don't know, only like 35 or 40 pounds. You could definitely do this with an Olympic 45-pound barbell, but I just don't have that handy here, and I'm more trying to show you the technique. So with the deadlift, we're going to start with our feet about shoulder width apart. This is for our normal deadlift, and we're going to put our hands about the same place as our feet. We're going to reach down, okay, and we want the barbell to be close to our shins, and we're going to reach down, and then we're just going to stand up with it, okay, and then I kind of keep my knees slightly bent. I'm going to go down to pretty much the floor. Now, if I had big plates on here, I would only be able to go as far down as the plate would let me. Since this does not have big plates, it has these little small ones, I'm pretty much taking it down to the ground and then standing back up. I can definitely feel this in the back of my hamstrings as well as in my booty. Okay, so we're bending over. I'm bending. This is a back exercise. So I'm keeping my knees slightly soft and bended, but I'm not bending them a lot. This is not a squat. This is different. Okay, I'm letting the barbell practically touch my shins down to my shoelaces, and then I stand straight up, put my shoulders back, and be proud of what I just did. Okay, and again, I go down, touch my shoelaces, and I'm practically hitting the shins with the barbell. That is the deadlift. If you do not have a barbell available to you, you can do variations of the deadlift with a kettlebell. If we take a wide squat for my ballerinas out there, if we're in second position, wide stance with our feet more pointed outward, this is called a sumo stance, and this works great for sumo squats as well as different kinds of deadlifts. So you can use this stance, but you can use a kettlebell to do a deadlift where we're just touching the ground and coming up. This is a really great starter. This is a very light motion. This is only a 20-pound kettlebell, so definitely going to need some more weight. But you can see it's still that same movement of me just slightly bending the legs and then standing back up. Another way that we can do this deadlift is a one-legged deadlift, or we call this a RDL, a one-legged RDL, which stands for one-legged Romanian deadlift. It's typically the same motion, except for that we're also going to work on our balance. We're going to tighten our core. If you have to, you can maybe reach out and touch something just slightly though. Just barely touch it if you need to for balance, okay? So we're going to look out in front of our foot, and we're going to do this with the opposite arm. So whatever arm my kettlebell is in, that one's going to come off the ground, okay? So I'm doing that same hinged over motion where I let the kettlebell, and sorry, I don't have my balance very good, touch the ground, and then I stand up with it, okay? And then I hinge over and I stand up. So it's that same motion, but this time I'm doing it with one leg. I'll show you here from the side profile so you can kind of see how that looks. But I do down, I hinge back up, I tighten. When I come back up, I tighten that booty and kind of push it forward, okay? And then I go forward and back up. Again, if you need to reach out to touch something for balance when you're getting started, you can. This is one of my very favorite compound movements. And then you'll want to do it with both sides. So definitely alternate. I think a 15-pound kettlebell is a good place to start. And you can do it on each. If you don't have a kettlebell, a dumbbell totally works as well. The last thing that I'm going to show you is if you are in a commercial gym, you might have access to what is called a trap bar or a hex bar in order to do your deadlifts. And this is just a different type of bar in order to do that same type of motion. We just got one for Christmas, so I'm going to show it to you here in just a second.